Welcome back, True Seeker. Want to give a quick Gematria lesson on the significance of 33 to Freemasonry and how that significance comes from an old world spiritual belief from the Kundalini, who were a people down in modern day India. Their belief was about spiritual ascension traveling up the 33 vertebrae of the human being and enlightening the mind's eye, the pineal gland. And for whatever reason, this man produced this video asking if I'm a shill and stating that I don't teach about this, which isn't true. I have taught numerous times about the significance of the Kundalini, Freemasonry, and 33. So let's do it one more time. And before we get to it, let's just make sure we understand how Gematria works within the English language and the four base ciphers. So let's just start with the letter A. On the screen, you see A equals 1 in full reduction. A equals 8 in reverse full reduction. A equals 1 in English ordinal. A equals 26 in reverse ordinal. Let's begin with the English ordinal. Hey, Derek, if there's one suggestion I'd make for organizing the calculator is actually making English ordinal first, since it's the most logical. It's not a big deal, though. Derek built this calculator, the man who built this website, after coming across my work. He thought that I was off my rocker, then he learned the code. He learned this was the truth. He got real inspired. He's been working hard for over a year now. Built this calculator, has his own blog, his own YouTube channel, his own Twitter. He's getting the knowledge out. But anyhow, A's the first letter, so that's why A's worth 1. B is worth 2 in this method. Let's just do it. Let's just do it slowly. B, 2, in reduction and in ordinal. C, 3. All the way until we get to J, it's going to be the same in reduction and ordinal, and the reason it changes there is because J is the 10th letter. What reduction is the rules of numerology. So 1 plus 0, using the alphabetic order, J, the 10th letter, becomes 1. The next letter is K, the 11th. In reduction, that's going to be 2. You see that? 1 plus 1 is 2. L's the 12th letter. 1 plus 2 is 3. So in reduction, it's 3. Reverse ordinal, what's going on over here is it's the reverse alphabetic order. So let's go back to A. A is 1 using the alphabetic order. In reverse ordinal, A is 26. The alphabet's 26 letters long. Notice Z is the 26th letter in ordinal, the first in reverse ordinal. So what's happening is a formula. I know that O is the 15th letter. There's a formula to get to reverse ordinal if you know the alphabetic order. That formula is 27 minus whatever the ordinal letter placement is. So 27 minus 15 is 12. I know that P is the 16th letter. 27 minus 16 is 11. So P is going to be 11 in reverse ordinal. You see this? The next letter is Q. Q is the 17th. 27 minus 17 is 10. You understand? So all of this is based on the alphabetic order. And in the reverse full reduction, you're just using the rules of numerology on the reverse method. So if we understand that, let's talk about the 33 vertebrae in the human being and enlightenment up those 33 vertebrae, reaching the pineal gland, the mind's eye. The word people equals 33. The word person equals 33. The word pineal, 33. And not arbitrarily. Very special number. This number, known to be important to Freemasonry. In Washington, D.C., there is the headquarters of Freemasonry for North America. The building's called the House of the Temple. And outside there are 33 pillars, and each pillar is 33 feet tall. And consider Washington, D.C. is named after the 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason, George Washington. Masonry equals 33. Masonry is a secret society, secrecy 33. Order 33. Consider it's the federal government headquarters, 33. This entire language of letters and numbers comes from a biblical language known as Kabbalah. And I just want you to see that the word Bible is 33. Bible is commonly called the Good Book, 33. Christians worship on Sunday, 33. Jesus Christ, believed to have been crucified at 33. Think about the word believe. Powerful word. 33. Think about ending your prayers with amen. 33. Anyhow, the Kundalini have the belief about the 33 vertebrae, spiritual ascension. I want you to see the word Kundalini. 58. These are our base ciphers. They're all interrelated. Notice Freemasonry. 58. Notice Secret Society. 58. Notice Solomon's Temple. This is where the secrets of Freemasonry lie. Freemasonry. A Freemason calls himself a craftsman. Craftsman. 58. You see? Special numbers to this nation, which is a Masonic nation. We, the people. 58. In God we trust on our dollar bill. 58. The term annuit coeptus, also on the dollar bill, which means God favors. 58. The entire code, biblical. 58. Freemasonry is based in the modern Freemasonry is based in the Rosicrucian order. 58. Rosicrucian means rose cross. The rose is a symbol of secrecy. Rose cross. 58. King James, who has a Bible in his name, was a Freemason. He was also a Rosicrucian. Rosicrucian first, then Freemason. He dropped dead at age 58, not arbitrarily. King James has a lot to do with the establishment of this nation. And there's something called, well, Derek calls it the single reduction on his calculator. What this is, I'll just show you. We'll put an S up here. S is the 19th letter. 1 plus 9 equals 10 in reduction. 1 plus 0 equals 1. S is the only letter you have to add together 2 times to get to a single digit. So S can be 1 or 10. When you do this, Washington equals 58. So does United States. Washington, named after a Freemason. United States, a nation built out of Freemasonry. An agenda. This last presidential election, Donald Trump announced he was running for it from the 58-story Trump Tower. It was the 58th U.S. presidential election. On Inauguration Day, which was the 58th U.S. presidential inauguration, Trump hired the 58-year-old Steve Ray. Not coincidentally, you know. Something else I taught about long before it happened. I said, watch, if Trump becomes president, you remember this right here. Donald Trump had his GOP convention on July 18th, 18/7. Washington, D.C. equals 187. And Inauguration Day in Washington, D.C. was exactly 187 days after his convention start, July 18th, 18/7. The name George Washington also equals 187. Donald Trump is a Jesuit. They are called the Society of Jesus, 187. In D.C. is the ancient accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. That's what the House of the Temple is. Ancient accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, 187. This number comes from the Torah, the first 5 chapters of the Bible. The Torah is 187 chapters long. Excuse me, I just said first 5 chapters. I meant first 5 books of the Bible. The first 5 books are 187 total chapters. That's the Torah. You see? And again, the entire code is biblical. So what you have in Freemasonry is you have all this old world knowledge. You got Kundalini beliefs. You got Kabbalah. You got Hermeticism. You got alchemy. You have all this old world knowledge. And now you're using this knowledge in a systematic way. You've intertwined the knowledge. You know? It's the belief that all things are connected. Kabbalah connects all things. In case you're new here and you've heard about the number 322, maybe you've heard about that. Here's where it comes from. Ancient mystery religions has Gematria of 322. That's all the things I just talked about. Kabbalah, Hermeticism, alchemy, Kundalini. In the Bible, you have the Jewish section, you have the Christian section, and then you have the Quran, the Islamic faith, which is based off of what comes out of the Old Testament. Those are the Abrahamic, notice Abrahamic's 187, religions, 322. You see? Special number there. This is where it comes from. So, all these people who talk about me, that's just all I see. All these videos, calling me a shill, suggesting I'm a shill, putting shill in the title. Everybody who speaks about my work speaks incorrectly. They talk about my work in a false manner, misleading people. This guy says, never heard Zachary K. Hubbard teach about these things. I'm the only person teaching about these things. Has he ever taught a lesson in his life a fraction as good as what I just taught? And you see, that's the difference about my work. I'm not just talking. I'm teaching you guys the skill that's based in understanding the language and simple mathematics that reveals so much. It's a big difference. This is called proof. This is called evidence. That's why I did this. Because I realized you couldn't wake up the sheep just talking common sense. There had to be something greater. So it took me over 10 years to figure this stuff out. It took me a long time to figure out what I now present. It didn't just come overnight. Started the day, September 11th happened when I was 18. Took me until I was 30 years old to figure out how to teach this knowledge. And of course, I've been learning more ever since. I'm 34 now, so. That's it for now. Also, just notice how every time after I call a sports championship, there's always a new video. It's usually by some British guy, talking nonsense and making a video with shill in the title. And realize this tactic works. There's a ton of people on YouTube who are convinced I'm a shill because of how many videos have been made saying I'm a shill. Even though the definition of a shill is somebody who leads you astray. I don't know how anyone could ever say my work led them astray. And for all the people who say, well, you're not a Christian, so you're leading people from Jesus. I mean, you guys are just so small-minded and weak. I've never told anybody to leave their religion or to believe anything. I'm teaching you a skill to see through the New World Order. Christians ask me if I'm a Christian. I respond honestly that I'm not. I believe in God, but not Christianity. And then they start saying, oh, he's a shill then. He's a shill. He doesn't believe in Jesus. Don't you guys see what a plague your minds are? Your guys' minds are a plague. You think someone doesn't believe the same as you, that makes them a shill, So anyway, that's what they do this for, the weak-minded. These types of videos, they keep the weak-minded from the truth. Watching the watchers. You just need to shut it down, buddy. Shills don't get their channel deleted 11 times since June of 2017 as I have, Shills haven't been censored from day one as I have. That's been the truth about my channel. People getting unsubscribed since I first got here because my first video was a correct prediction. Million correct predictions since. Million examples of exposing the news, sports, elections, murder by numbers. So much more. This poor guy doesn't even know how to spell right. Until next time. Encore. Should also mention that the number 33 is considered to be the master teacher number, and in Gematria, teacher also sums to 33. With regards to this code coming from the Bible, and the Torah specifically, the Torah begins with Genesis, which equals 33. Genesis means in the beginning, which has an ordinal value of 137, which is the 33rd prime number. And this language, all part of Kabbalah, which comes from the Old Testament, which was originally written in Hebrew. The word Kabbalah in Hebrew Gematria sums to 137. Albert Pike, the Freemason, who has a statue in D.C., he wrote Morals and Dogma, where in that book he says Masonry owes all thanks to Kabbalah, speaks about Kundalini. This is how it all comes together. Notice Washington, D.C. also has that Gematria of 137, the 33rd prime. Prime number relationships, huge in this. You ever heard the term the cabal? That's the secret political faction in charge. Notice authority has that Gematria of 137. Special number. And there's just so much more to teach. As a reminder, going to be releasing this book very soon. I've made people wait too long. But the nice thing about making people wait too long is I have a very good product, you know? It's like a fine wine now. There's so much knowledge in this book, over 600 pages of dense information. There's no filler. You know, you could study a page a day for, 600 straight days, however many pages are in this book. You will learn a lot in that period of time, you know? So, I'll give you guys the release date soon. Very important book. It'll blow your mind, you know? What I just taught you here is just the tip of the iceberg. It's like maybe not even a full page worth of information. So just imagine 600 plus more lessons like this that are a lot more cohesive. Plus you learn all the things I didn't show you in this video. There's so much more to this story. So we'll leave it there, True Seeker. Until next time.